Yo, 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 yo. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central European time on the dollar, almost on the dollar. 6 minutes off, that's good. Better than, 7 hours off. Hope you're doing well. Bitcoin right now, all-time high, 104K, 104.859. And you can see over here right now, we are at all-time high, guys. We are at all-time high. We went 106 on Binance. I think it was a little bit higher on some other exchanges. I might be wrong. Let me check this out because I haven't looked at this over here. This is the CME futures chart. 107 on CME futures. CME futures are always like a couple of thousand, above or below. So there we go. And it looks good, guys. It is breaking towards upside. There is a couple of ways, this part over here can be made into a channel. I've been looking at this over here, but there is, this as well over here where we are not actually outside. There is another one up here that goes something like this over here. There's a couple of ways to draw the channel. So we're going to draw all the channels and we're going to check it out how it actually plays out. We're going to look a little bit on, how Bitcoin dominance is playing out because right now it's retesting this, top up here. On the weekly time frame, this looks a little bit better, but, there is that. We're gonna go look at what is Ethereum doing right now. We're gonna look at top frames, and most importantly, we're gonna look at the long-term charts, monthly time frames, and try to figure out where we are at the top, right? Because right now, when we are pumping towards upside, we wanna follow these indicators, and we wanna figure out whether we are coming to the top or not, right? So you can see up here we are getting pretty high up here, but we are still not these 90 levels over here when we have every single one of these tops over here just yet. So we're gonna analyze a little bit just to figure out whether this is the top or not, because it is 104K, 106 was. Hope everybody's doing well in chat. What's up, guys? Beauty moon. Yeah, we also got a full moon, guys. I was just watching the full moon. I've been actually watching full moon since before I went to bed last night, and it was very, very nice. And today I woke up and it's still the full moon outside, because up here in the north, so it looks nice. The moon. Salim, how you doing, man? Good morning, TL. Really looking forward to that Christmas dinner. It's gonna be lovely. It's gonna be lovely. Like when everybody started, hey man, how about that Bitcoin? Yeah, well, what's happening there, man? Yo, the green is goblin. How you doing, man? Good morning, TL. What's up? So let's look at how the play stuff is looking. Is it looking good? Is it looking bad? And all of that shebang, right? So we're gonna start with Bitcoin over here. We're gonna go to the daily time frame, and we're gonna just focus on this part over here first, because like I just told you, there is several ways you can actually draw this channel, and technically the channel is not yet actually broken, depending on how you actually draw it. So if you draw it something like this over here, this is one of Mladen's channel up here, especially this midline up here is very, very nice. Over here, you'll see right now that we are still not technically outside of the big channel just yet, but we are getting this, all-time high up here towards upside, and we are breaking that towards upside. This is one way to draw the channel, whether we are above it or not. We are not quite over there yet, but we are above the midline over here, and we've been above the midline over here just a couple of times over here, and right now we are above the midline again. The fact that we are above the midline on this channel is actually very, very bullish. That said, again, there is a couple of other ways to draw the channel. We're gonna go to daily time frame. Like I said, I was drawing the channel something like this over here, give or take, and I was it's just a little bit over here towards downside up here. Yeah, it was something like this over here. This is the channel I've been looking at most of the time, because this over here was just first moved some kind of resistance, then exploded towards upside and started zigzagging. Now outside of this channel, we are actually outside of the channel up here, and it looks actually very, very nice. Not only that, this over here should have actually been very bearish and we should have fallen down over here, but since we are not falling down, I consider this bullish move, and it is very, very bullish. Also, there is over here, if you look at over here in the last part just before we broke up right now, there was this trend line over here that was going something like this, and then you had this top line over here, so there was some kind of ascending triangle up here. We broke that towards upside as well, and we broke it with the force. So this looks like a nice breakout up here, at least above these levels over here towards upside, which is actually very, very bullish. Now if you go to the daily time frame over here, so let's just look at a resistance level, and you'll see that the resistance, like major resistance levels, like these pivot points up here, are getting broken really, really nicely. Like over here we broke that right back down again, then over here we came right back up there again. There was the next major resistance level right up here. We failed to break it, and then we broke like 2 days ago which I became, which got me very, very excited over here. We had this doji above the resistance level, because this over here is major resistance level, and right now we are bouncing off of that resistance level towards upside. So everything still looks bullish. I don't see any weakness in the price just yet, and the fact that we have been doing this for a little while, it managed to get some indicators to pull back, right? So over here on the daily time frame, we had a very high RSI. We put in, extend towards upside up here. Since these bottoms over here, we extend towards upside, some kind of 80, and during this consolidation up here, uptrending consolidation, this bullish consolidation, we actually managed to reset some of the indicators. You'll also see that the MACD pulled back a little bit over here. We're getting very, very soon the bullish cross, and over here on the extension chart, you'll see once we explode towards upside up here, entire move towards upside up here allowed us to pull back the indicators. So right now the indicators are pulled back on the daily time frame. Right now we're sitting something as 60, we are all the way down to 57 levels, but we are sitting down at low levels over here. We pull back on the MACD, and we pull back on my indicator over here over extension. So right now we're sitting close to the zero line, which is actually very, very nice. So that means that right now, if it go right, it can definitely go even more towards upside over here, because the dailies are consolidated. Now this is daily time frame. We might actually continue for a couple of more days, but on the weekly time frame, you'll see over here that we are still in an uptrending move. We still don't have any kind of big consolidation. Like over here, you'll see that we had the big consolidation towards that side. This was actually very necessary, because over here we came on the weekly time frame to some kind of 88 levels. 88 levels, anything above the 70 levels up here, but 80, 90 levels up here, these are very extended level towards downside. So we had this 7 months consolidation, and you'll see that this 7 months consolidation actually pulled the RSI very far towards downside over here to some kind of 40 levels, which we are bouncing. Right now we're coming close to those 80 levels up here, 79 right now, but when you're considering where the tops usually they get like 90 levels up here. This over here was this wasn't actually the top. The top actually came at 73, but just before the top, the highs were at 95 levels. So right now we'll see that on the weekly time frame, we are nowhere close to these 80, 90 levels up here at the top just yet, which means that we still have more room to go. But the consolidations are very nice. This was a bullish consolidation over here that pulled the indicators towards downside. You'll see over here, and just like on the daily time frame, like I showed you, this is actually very, very needed. So every time you have a big move towards upside, you need some kind of consolidation either towards upside or towards downside or sideways to pull these indicators towards downside a little bit, and then you can actually do another move towards upside. So when you're looking at the daily time frame right now, it does look like the consolidation is done. Now this, people often think that when you have a big move, you have to have a consolidation towards downside, you have to have some kind of pullback. Now in a very bullish scenarios, you can have exhaustion pattern, a consolidation that goes towards upside, and then you break that consolidation level once these indicators have pulled back, and you can just continue towards upside. This is actually very, very explosive consolidation. So right now that we are actually doing this rising consolidation towards upside, as soon as this breaks towards upside over here, even though I said like it's already broken, if you consider Mladen's channels up here, it goes something like this over here. If you consider this channel over here, as soon as this starts breaking towards upside, it's gonna go even faster towards upside, because this is actually a very, very bullish consolidation. And right now it does look like that, like there is no weakness in the price. Even this move towards downside over here below the moving average up here held very, very nicely on the support level and just bounced immediately back to the tops up here, broke the resistance, and right now it's continuing towards upside. It looks very bullish, guys. So will we get some kind of top December 2024 right now? Is the top gonna be next year? Don't know just yet, but we are watching the charts every day just to know where the top is gonna be. And when we get to the top, we'll probably know that it is top, but right now this doesn't look like any kind of top, at least not to me, right? So it looks actually very, very nice. We can go also look at a bigger time frames over here, and we'll go and look at this chart over here, and I'm gonna show you something on the chart. And the monthly time frame is over here. Right now you'll see that again on the monthly time frame we are still at this over here was in intermediate top at 75 levels on the RSI, which is not actually very high. Again, these very tops on the monthly time frame, they come around 80-90 levels over here, actually at 90 levels, 91 and 95 levels over here, and over here it was 95 levels. So this monthly top we don't have just yet. Regardless how you pull this over here, we still have more room to go when it comes to monthly time frame, which gets me excited, because that means that, you know, we might have more room to go when it comes to 2025. Whether 2025 top is going to come in the next 3 months, or in the next 6 months, or you know, next 1 year, will we have a bigger consolidation before the top as well? We don't know just yet, but you know, there is definitely more room to go over here. Right now MACD on the monthly time frame, it looks like it's going towards upside. We pull back during this bigger consolidation up here, we pull back all the way towards downside. Right now we're extending again, but we are not extended extended just yet, you know, all the way towards these tops up here. So you can see even on the extension chart over here that it has more room to go towards the upside, right? So there is more room to go towards the upside. We are close to the top, but you know, where the top is going to be 120, 150, 200k, we don't know just yet, but you know, we are definitely going into that direction over here. And right now it does look like, you know, this is just going to fall towards downside. And the biggest reason I don't think it's going to fall towards downside is because people wants to buy the dip. And remember what I always say, oftentimes when you are you know, when stuff is getting very bullish, you also seen that Coinbase app is right now, or it was, you know, number 1 during this move towards the upside, and right now it's like number 4 or 5 out of these you know, finance apps or whatever. But you know, people are extremely bullish. Everybody knows something is happening. They are still very, very fearful to buy, you know, when price is going towards the upside. So everybody thinks, you know, it's gonna go a little bit down, I'm gonna buy back at 80k and it's gonna go towards the upside. You know, over here you had a chance to do that, right? We exploded. You know, people thought over here might go a little bit more towards the downside, but you know, it was still going towards the upside. So this down, you know, and when you came down to here is these mega fears around 50k levels over here. You know, people are afraid to buy. If you remember, it was extreme fear down here at these 50 levels. This is extreme fear. We have been watching the fear and greed index. Right now it's extreme greed, right? But it was extreme fear down here at these bottoms, and you know, that was time to buy before it goes up. Right now people think again it's gonna go do another move towards downside into some kind of liquidity area. We also, you know, think might happen, but I don't see any reason why we should do that, because you know, people, this is there was accumulation zone. This is a first move towards upside. This is a reaccumulation zone over here, and right now it's doing this, you know, last move towards upside, and there are no more accumulation zones. Might come kind of dip over here a little bit, whatever, right? But I don't see any reason why we should dip, you know, lower than maybe, you know, a 90k to 70k or anything like that. Right now we could do that to pick up some liquidity if the price has hard time, you know, pumping towards upside. But you know, going down here is just gonna give another chance for people to buy in, you know, and we already went through the reaccumulation zone over here. Right now we are going for the next move towards the upside. So I don't see any more dips, guys, on the way towards top. Now how fast we're gonna get to the top or not, it kind of depends, but this looks very, very bullish over here. It's just consolidating while these moving averages are picking up the speed over here. So it looks like over here, like if you look at the latest over here, it could still continue for, you know, a couple of more weeks over here before we go. Maybe January 1st is the time that we actually explode up here, because you know, technically not out of the channel just yet, technically not, you know. So even though we are a little bit bullish over here, it might continue for a couple of more weeks. And I always say, once you are in some kind of channel, it's really hard to figure out when the channel is going to get broken. It's really hard. Like we are looking at consolidation and stuff like that, right? Over here the RSI, we got RSI lines over here. Let's see, it goes something like this over here, which is not broken technically right now. So you know, we could still continue this consolidation over here, right? So you get to go down to the moving averages, you explode over here, right? You go down to the resistance level, you just pull back, right? So this can continue the way I see it for a couple of more weeks, maybe over the Christmas, I don't know, but it does look very, very nice. So I have very high confidence that Bitcoin is gonna keep above 100k over here. I have very high confidence it might actually keep above 100k over here until the 1st of January 2025 over here. It might continue like this over here, just sideways. you know, for a considerable amount of time over here. We don't know just yet, but this can take time, because you know, even though it is breaking up over here, it looks very, very bullish. The entire part up here is not actually out just yet, and this part over here, these are the major pivot points over here. And if you draw something just like something like over here, give or take, it needs to go like 130, 20 up here to get out of the channel up here, give or take. So it could take time. It could take time. It does look very good though. It does look very good. Bitcoin dominance, on the other hand, up here is still pulling back, failed to get back above the blue box over here. Is major level of resistance. It did drop down quite heavily. Right now it's pulling back up here to the blue box. We are still looking right now, because right now we are creating this support level over here. We are looking to break that and jump down towards downside. Now if it continues up here, going towards upside up here, we might get something like we got last time, if you remember. Right, we pulled back over here and exploded above the resistance, and then pulled back towards downside, right? So you might do something like this over here as well. You know, we go down, we explode up here towards top, and then do big move towards downside over here. But there is major level of support. Let me just go a little bit back. There is major level of support that's being created right now, or it was created right now, and that's this one up here below 55. So regardless whether this goes towards upside or just down over here, I think that the big drop over here comes once we actually break this level towards downside. So whether it does something like this towards downside, or something like this over here towards downside, or maybe some kind of double bottom over here, goes up here, fails that, and goes down. This level below 55 is very, very important. So that's what I'm looking for. But right now, we just, you know, Bitcoin dominance is just coming back to the resistance level up here. Also, Ethereum right now climbing back towards upside up here. It's kind of doing this move. I had this line up here, right? So let me just remove everything for a second, and let me draw this nicer. So there was this rising wedge over here, give or take. And the rising wedge looked like over here it was broken out. It went out of that. Right now it's retesting that, and any kind of bearish chart would say this is just gonna go back down to here and go towards downside over here, but it kind of looks bullish over here. It's just consolidation. And I'm telling everybody that every single time you have a bearish kind of bearish pattern in a bullish scenario, that bearish pattern breaks bullishly, right? So we are looking for this to continue towards upside eventually, because it is above the blue box over here. If you look at a weekly time frame up here, there is no doji actually over here. This is some kind of, you know, movement towards upside. It still looks a little bit bearish over here, but it is above the blue box up here, holding very nicely, you know, very close to this 4K level. And over here, if you go to a little bit higher time frames, monthly time frames, it is breaking the high up here, previous high up here. So we are getting right now higher highs on the chart, which is actually very, very nice. Also over here, even though there is a little bit divergence up here on the chart, bearish divergence on the chart, as soon as this actually climbs a little bit over here towards upside, there will be no divergence on the chart. MACD continuing towards upside, the momentum also going to higher up here. We don't have just yet these highs up here from the previous tops or anything like that. So everything looks nice, even on the especially on the bigger time frames. Looks that we have more room left to go. Again, it can take a little bit time before we get to the next big move towards upside. If you look over here on these consolidation parts up here, you'll see that the 10 and 20 moving average right now curving towards upside. So I can definitely see another week or 2 weeks before we actually go. So again, 2 more weeks to go. That means around January we can go. We can definitely go right now as well. I mean, I wouldn't mind going up right now as well, but we could definitely have 2 more weeks to go, and then in January continue move towards the upside, which would actually be very nice, regardless whether that's in January or we have 2 more weeks to go. It's all good, guys. It's all good. It also looks good and dandy, right? Over here we have the total market cap. There was a big channel over here towards upside. Right now, this total market cap without Bitcoin and Ethereum, of course, we have been just going towards upside very, very highly. Right now we pull back, consolidating. This again looks like it's going to drop towards downside. It might do that just like everything else, but we are still looking for this big move towards upside again over here. If you look at a weekly time frame, we're just actually consolidating above the moving averages up here. That's why I'm saying we can definitely have a couple of more weeks before we do another move towards the upside over here. Ethereum Bitcoin chart over here, it kind of looks like it wants to go. I mean, everything. I don't want to analyze this chart too much because this is Ethereum versus Bitcoin, and every single time I said like this needs to go, it didn't go, and then fell down. And right now, it looks like it needs to go, but it still isn't going. Over here, it managed to get above the moving average, consolidating over here. Like it needs to go, but it's not going. So I don't know. Morning, the greens are getting so annoyed with all these altcoin season market makers be playing with us. Yeah, altcoins are not actually performing that well, but they are actually doing okay, right? They're just consolidating, but everything pumped, guys, everything pumped. So, yeah, there are stuff that's pumped more than other stuff, but, everything pumped, guys, everything pumped. CKB, kind of consolidating up here. I mean, like everything pumped big time, right? This over here is like 2x, right? It didn't pump like over up there, but everything, had a major pump over here, which is actually very, very nice. Above the moving average right now, it's just consolidating. Everything is just consolidating right now because we just had a major pump. Like look over here on Phantom on the monthly time frame. Phantom on the monthly time frame just had 1-2 consolidation, 1-2 months of big moves. It's creating these higher highs up here towards upside, right? It's slowly moving, but it's nowhere up here just yet. It just kind of getting. I'm just hoping we don't get another one of these consolidation, because this was 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 months consolidation. This is 1 2 3 4 5 months, so maybe 1 2 3 months consolidation before we do another move towards the upside. I hope that doesn't happen. It could happen. I hope it doesn't happen. Looks like Whale wants to get this bull market done rather sooner than later. Might be that, but again, it is all-time high and everybody's getting very bullish. So right now I think we can get more consolidation than you guys think. That's why I'm saying this channel up here is not done just yet, right? It's not done just yet. We have more room to go, and I'm saying like we can still definitely go for a couple of more weeks sideways over here. Not only that, we might even break up here towards downside, but everybody becomes very bearish again, and then go towards upside, even though I don't think that there is any reason to go down. But there is that. We could definitely have this move towards downside up here before we go higher towards upside again. And this can actually take time. This can take time. Can it take time? Weeks, months? Don't know. But we are looking when we're gonna break this towards the upside, right? So this bigger channel up here. Once this bigger channel up here is broken towards the upside up here, whatever this looks like. Where is I think Milano's channel has the most. Yeah, it goes something like this over here. Goes over here, give or take, because of the midline up here, right? Give or take, maybe up here. There we go. It can go as high as 109k or something like that, and then pull back over here towards downside, right? But it just still zigzag, zigzag move. It hasn't done the major move just yet. What do you think about previous target for around 8k Bitcoin others? They're still holding all of your Bitcoins? Yeah, I'm still holding because it is really easy to hold, right? Because my targets were already reached. It was 1890k. What is 1890k? 1890k. I didn't sell because it looks like it didn't look like a top. It's okay, but my target was for 890k, and I tell you should always have your target very, very low. Because you're gonna, high chances you're gonna reach your target and you're gonna be happy. And after that, regardless whether you sell at, over here at 90k or 95k or 100k or 105k, you're good, right? And even if it pulls back over here into your area, you still can sell down here and, you still be fine because, that's your target. So when looking for target, I mean, it is nicer to sell 109 than at 80, 90k, but, you take what you get, right? So I'm still holding, yeah. It's I don't see the top just yet. When I see the top, I might be selling. But right now, even though right now over here it might look like it might actually drop down, like it still doesn't seem like a top. Could this latest upward exhaustion pattern be already distribution zone of the whales that bought? Exhaustion patterns are distribution zones, right? Because there is a lot of selling over here, right? It's doing this part over here, and there is a lot of selling, but there is a bullishness in this selling because there is so much buying just right now. And the thing about the distribution zone over here, it's only happening on the daily time frame. If you look at a weekly time frame, we have this, move towards upside, just like over here, but we still don't have this very characteristic overextensions and this very characteristic zigzag pattern. So there is actually no pattern up here at the top. I mean, it is just moving towards upside over here, some kind of exhaustion pattern, but we don't have, you know, double top, or we don't have anything in a bigger time frames, right? It's only on the daily time frames you get something, and oftentimes, you know, 4-year cycle don't come on the daily time frame, at least not the way I see it, right? So I'm looking for something on the weekly time frame to see some kind of, you know, some kind of problem or anything like that, but right now it looks nice. Good morning, Pyro Italia. How you doing, man? Hold on, let's time for reaccumulate. Nah, that was down here. Right now we're just waiting for retail. I'm with the chart. What's up, Edward? How are you doing, man? Do you think this is retail buyers? Of course. I'm a little bit unsure whether they're buying or not. I think they're hoping it's gonna pull back or whatever. You know, you gotta understand, retail doesn't think like we think, right? When price goes up, they need to be sure it's gonna continue going up. So they're waiting and they're waiting and they're waiting to be sure. They need confirmation. You know, they need to know that, you know, this is not a scam. And the only way to know it's not a scam is when, you know, they read in some, you know, their favorite mainstream newspaper that, you know, Bitcoin is gold, you know, it's gonna go to 2 million, and then they buy, right? But they buy at when Bitcoin is 150, 200K, and, you know, then they FOMO in. So some are definitely buying right now. I mean, if you look over here, it is definitely extreme greed right now. So we got extreme greed, we got and I'm always trying to be right now cautious a little bit. So we got extreme greed, retail is here, you know, Coinbase app was #1. Everything did already explode a whole bunch towards upside, right? Over here. This is, you know, 2-3% again, just like last time over here. It exploded, you know, up here 200-300%, 200-300%, right? And every time it explodes, it does this. But, you know, eventually it cannot do these kind of moves anymore, right? So over here it bounced, boom, move back. Over here bounced, move back. Over here bounced, move back. So, you know, bounce, you go move back to bottom side. At one point it won't be coming down to these bottoms. It came down 1, 2, 3 times. So what now? It's gonna go down here for 4th time and go towards upside. This is the reason I don't think we're gonna have another one of these, you know, moves down here and then, you know, go towards upside. I think this over here is just consolidation before we actually start breaking everything towards upside. So there is that. It looks good, guys. All-time high, very nice. Bitcoin pulling back, like expect a little bit over here because it's coming to some kind of top up here again. For the last time, this consolidation might take time. It's not technically out of the bigger channel just yet. Over here, give or take, it needs a little bit time. Hardful incoming, Arakanano chart. Hardful. I don't know if it's hardful, but you know, where are we gonna get some kind of fear before the next year? Don't know. Also remember that timing is very important, and we started pumping over here exactly in January 2023, so January 2024. So this is exactly 2 years. Sorry, this is exactly 2 years right now. 2 years of upward movement. So this over here started here in January 2023. This is January 2024 up here, and right now we're coming to January 2025. So whether it is done because it's 2 years, or it's gonna be done at, you know, January 2025 up here, are we just, you know, gonna do this move up here or something like that? But that might look like we're gonna have a consolidation for 6 months before we do this move towards the upside. I don't know, man. I don't know. Under 60K, but, you know, more consolidation over here before we do this move. Upward accumulation, giga pump. Recovering out after dump. Thanks for Anchor. I don't know about Anchor, but, you know. There we go, guys. Quick and dirty update on what's happening. It looks good, guys. It looks good. Go and watch some other crypto videos. You know, I'll see you around. Bye-bye.